Hey, feasters, and welcome to episode 85. And I've got an awesome and very personal show for you today, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to share with you my why and how it's allowed me to stay strong through the rough times. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And today's question is, why did you start freelancing? And this is really an awesome question. I love it because it's the why, and I'll get to that why I feel that's important. Very early on, I can remember that I had a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. Much like a lot of boys in the 80s, especially those into sports, I collected baseball cards, but I never collected them for the sake of having my favorite players. I collected them to turn a profit. And yes, I tried to make money off of my friends. I also had a paper route, and in fact, it was one of the biggest in my neighborhood. If I recall correctly, the newspaper that I was delivering for asked me to pick up the slack of another route to combine it with my own because that delivery boy stopped doing it. So I jumped at it. When I was 14, though, that was really when the switch went off in my head. I can remember working at the time as a stock boy in a fabric store that my mom was a previous manager at. So I was able to get the job there so young. I didn't like this job at all. Big surprise, right? I mean, what 14-year-old boy wants to be spending his time sorting fabric while his friends are outside playing? So, since I had made a lot more money on the paper route, that in fact in a much shorter time even, right? But that paper route became defunct because, well, the paper company, the newspaper, decided, you know what, the paper boys are making too much money, so we're going to pull them, right? And decided to deliver it themselves. So, I was almost forced to doing this stock boy job. I really dreaded getting up in the morning of the days that I knew I was going to have to work. So I can remember so vividly one day when I was sitting on the floor of the store, hanging a new stock of zippers, when I said to myself, I vow never to work in a position or at a job where I dread getting up in the morning to do. There's got to be a better way. I was raised to take that traditional route of going to college, get your degree, find a job, and settle right into the quote unquote normal life here in New York. To be honest, that was never going to be me though. And while in college in the late 90s, that's when the internet was essentially born and Silicon Valley was the place to be. I fought with my mom as a sophomore in college where I wanted to drop out and head out west. This went on for days. And the funny side of it is that my mom probably didn't even see it as a fight, argument, or even a topic of discussion. She was just all about no, and that was the end of it. So I continued along my traditional route and found a full-time job in web development. But I also did web development on the side. I didn't know it then, but my side hustle, just because I had a skill that most didn't have a clue about, would turn into my freelancing business. I want to get to the why bit a little bit more, but not just because it's the question, right? But because I feel that it's the most important part behind someone starting a business. However, if you'd like to hear a little bit more about this story, my journey in creating a business, where I failed, and what I'm looking forward to today, head over to IGTV on my Instagram. My Instagram is Rezzz20, the number 20, 20, for this Ask Rezzz Extra. Growing up, my father worked long hours. My mom worked too. They got divorced when I was in 8th grade, and I saw my mom work her butt off just so that she could put my sister, who's 3 years younger than me, and myself through college to go along that traditional route, right? I couldn't have had a better mom on the planet. She's the best, and I owe her everything for all of the sacrifices that she's done for both me and my sister. But I didn't want the same for me. I didn't want the same for my family, right? And by that, I meant selfishly, I wanted to be there for my family. I didn't want to work the hustle and work the 9 to 5, which actually turns into 6 to 9. I wanted to see those first steps. I wanted to hear those first words. I want to go to the baseball games and spend an afternoon with my family outside just because it's sunny. I want the flexibility and freedom to live the way I want to live. To steal and really paraphrase my friend Kai Davis, I want to live the life of my own design. All of this occurred to me pretty early on in my college career, but I didn't realize it was possible until I got that first freelance paycheck. When I deposited that check, it was the validation that this was possible, that the boy sitting on the floor of a fabric store found a better way. Now it's just a matter of how. I love this question because it's the why. And we don't all start freelancing because we want to work more. There's a reason behind the work that we do, especially the work that we choose to do. For you, that could be travel, or spending time with family like myself, or working on projects that you have a close passion to. Whatever that is, if you don't keep your why in focus, you'll derail yourself, and during the times of bad, you'll feel the desire to turn back. It's your why that will allow you to push through those hard times. It'll allow you to celebrate the great times and be the goals that you have for the rest of your life. I encourage you to take some time and reflect on your why. Put it front and center of all the decisions you have to make, and make sure you, as a freelancer, when you make those decisions, align directly with your why. Otherwise, why are you freelancing? If you have a question, ask Rezzz, that's me, by leaving me a tweet, an email, or follow me on IGTV. That's Rezzz with 3 Z's 20, the number 20. And I'll be happy to chat with you and learn a little bit more about what your why is. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.